Alright, so this is going to be the last video that I'm going to be making for today, okay? This is going to be 5 scariest videos of the decade that'll make your heart race, 2009 through 2019. This is going to be from Top 5 Unknowns channel. So me, have been let down a bunch of times when it came to, my expectations of what I would believe would be a scary experience for me when it comes to these videos, but it turns out to end up not being the case afterwards. It says scariest videos of the decade, and it's going to make your heart race, so there's probably going to be some tension in these videos that's going to make me feel that way. But like I said, we'll just have to see when we hop into this shit. So let's go ahead and hop into this video and see if this shit is scary or not.
Over the last decade, there's been a surplus of creepy content captured, created, and shared online. There are countless popular videos you can find showing scary, mysterious, and strange events unfolding. However, these 5 videos seem to be more rare and unknown than others. You can't wrap up a decade of horror without watching these gems. Number 5. Something that has been discussed before on this channel is the concept of roadside traps. In recent years, there have been cases involving gang members, human traffickers, and general attackers leaving random items in the middle of the road to distract drivers. Sometimes these criminals go as far as using human children to lure their victims out of their cars. However, most of the time, they're distracting items like dolls, animals, or even food. Another common practice in this method is creating a barricade across a dark, empty street using tree branches, chains, or trash. This is likely to draw more drivers out of their cars because they simply can't pass without moving the miscellaneous items. In this video, we see a perfect example of that routine. This footage, captured by a user in 2012, was collected by the driver's dash cam in Russia. Along a dark road late at night, the driver comes out of the roadblock to see that it's made up of tree branches and empty bottles. On the right side of the road, another driver has pulled over to exit their vehicle and move the items. In this case, they were lucky that several of them stopped at one time. When this happens, attackers tend to wait behind as it's more difficult to complete their task with a group of victims instead of just 1 or 2. As the 2 drivers remove the roadblock, people on the other side of the street come to a stop and exit their cars as well. The roadblock is removed in a matter of minutes without any attacks or problems. While this specific video may not show the scary truth behind these setups, they serve as a valuable warning and example for drivers that come across a similar situation in the future. The best advice for drivers that stumble across something like this is to simply turn around and find another route, or drive to a safe location and contact local authorities. Even if you're with other people and you think you'll be safe, it's advised that you never exit your car for something like this, despite what's seen in the video. Number 4. This short video was uploaded by Lil Goofy in July of 2019, and while it only has 1,000 views on its original upload, it's been a popular topic of conversation for horror enthusiasts since its release. Apparently, this video was originally intended to be exploration footage of a nearby cave. However, once the camera was rolling, things went very differently. You may expect this footage to show scary scenes from inside of a creepy cave. However, the explorers didn't even get the chance to enter the cave before they were approached by a threatening stranger. The video description states, "I brought a friend to see a rare cave in our local mountains that hardly anyone goes to. On our way up through the trail that leads to the caves, a stranger came out and waved at us. Then he pulled out what looked to be a big knife, so we ran away and didn't have any protection on us, not even cell phones." This pretty much perfectly explains the video in its entirety. Lil Goofy begins traveling along the trail while having a casual conversation with his friend. Their conversation suggests that they're waiting to enter the caves until after sundown. So around the 57-second mark, the pair stop at a picnic table to rest and wait. While relaxing, they notice a man in the distance walking toward them. Lil Goofy states that he's never seen anyone else in this area before. A brief clip shows the stranger waving before it cuts to the pair realizing that he has a large knife in his hands. That's when the suspect allegedly begins chasing the friends. The video continues as they run as fast as they can away from the scene and their assailant. What we can assume is a few moments later.
Dude, he doesn't look like he's running that fast, bro.
They come to a stop along the trail to regroup.
Like, you're literally going nowhere. Like, I could walk how fast you're running right now.
realizing that they'd both left their cell phones in the car.
Oh, okay, so they're not like really running. They just kind of like getting that little light jog going.
As they talk, they turn and see the stranger has located them once again. The chase proceeds before the victims finally find a spot along the trail to hide. As they duck behind the tall grass in a secluded area, they witness the suspect running across the trail a few yards in front of them, seemingly searching for his victims. They leave their hiding spot to run to the car, and according to the message displayed after the footage, they made it safely. There's no way to know for sure what the stranger's intentions were, but considering the fact that he pursued the two men he didn't know while wielding a large knife, it's safe to say that he was a threat.
I don't know. It's just like I could believe. Well, you know what? I'll go back to it later.
This video was posted by the Mob Reporter, a professional online journalist that provides all kinds of content. It was uploaded in May of 2019 and has over 4,000 views thanks to its unsettling nature. The footage was collected from the security camera at a well-known breakfast restaurant in Toronto. An unidentified man walks into the establishment and heads to the front counter. At first glance, it seems like any other average customer stopping in for some food. However, when he comes closer to the camera view, you can see that he's dressed in an all-black outfit with a backpack strapped to it. Now, this wouldn't be very creepy on its own, but once you notice the full face of makeup he's wearing to make himself look like a DC villain, the Joker, the situation becomes uncomfortable. Obviously, this person could have been dressed up for a number of very innocent reasons. You have to admit, though, that seeing someone disguised like this early in the morning is at least surprising. The Joker walks in and approaches the counter as the female employee on duty directs her attention to other matters. He seems to linger for a moment while nervously looking around him before he reaches for the tip jar. Before he's able to snag it, the employee turns to another customer, then tends to it. It's unknown exactly what was said during the exchange, and honestly, the footage is a bit confusing. It seems as though he's going to order, but instead he asks the woman a series of questions. At some point, she points to the back, and he begins to walk that direction, possibly heading to the restroom. Before he leaves, he asks the employee for something else, which causes her to turn her back. Within a split second, he snatches the tip jar and shoves it into his jacket and makes it exit. A brief description of the video was provided by the Mob Reporter, stating, "Someone dressed as the Joker with a full face of makeup and hair dye is seen on security camera, nicking the tips jar from our hardworking staff. This place makes a great Belgian waffle, but this Joker didn't come to eat." The Waffle House's owner was quoted as saying, "I was waiting for Batman to save the day, but he never showed up." Thankfully, no one was harmed during this crime, and it could have been a lot worse. Still, it's upsetting to see that someone walk into a business and steal the already minimal earnings from hardworking employees. Plus, this person's costume makes viewers and even some officers believe that he had a severe crime in mind. Many claim that he likely planned on committing a full-on robbery, but he realized that the place is too busy, which caused him to settle for the tip jar. It's things like this that make owners and employees hesitant to trust people in costumes. Furthermore, when a crime like this happens, the employees of a targeted location are often left scared that the suspect will return for a bigger haul. This person was never identified, and the video simply remains creepy and unsolved. Number 2. This video was shared by a Reddit user, and he explains that the footage came from his friend's doorbell camera in early 2019. After his friend left for work, leaving his wife home alone, she exited the front door to get some chores done in their attached laundry room located on their front porch. The video shows her walking toward the door before she stopped in her tracks by a strange sound. The sound can be heard in the video, though it was likely more clear in person.
Please don't tell me there's somebody in that fucking house, bro.
As she stands up in front of her door, what sounds like a male voice can be heard yelling for help. She later described that the voice sounded like it was coming from inside one of her walls or even inside of her house. If you pay attention, dogs can also be heard barking in the background as if they're responding to the voice. When the sound finally stopped, she continued with her task, but she was apparently so unsettled by what she heard that she searched the entire property inside and out for the mysterious man, even calling out to him on several occasions. She decided to contact police, and the rest of this upload shows the footage from that interaction. She explains the situation to them, including the fact that she looked around on her own to find nothing. She then lets them listen to the audio, which she saved from the doorbell app. The cop agrees that a male voice can be heard, but it's impossible to locate where from. The officers searched the property again for the woman to make sure to cover every inch. They didn't find anything concerning or any signs of someone previously being present. Unfortunately, there was nothing they could do to help further. An early theory shared by viewers was that the voice was somehow coming from the Ring doorbell itself. The system does have an exterior speaker for communication, and that could have been the case of signals getting crossed, causing the speaker to emit voices from nearby systems. However, the clip was shared all over the web and apparently tested against videos, in which sounds could be heard coming from speakers. The sound experts explained that the audio sounds nothing like that, and according to the audio detail, the voice is clearly coming from an outside source. Another theory is that the man was stuck inside a wall of the woman's home. Considering that he called out specifically to that woman when she was outside, and even referred to her as lady, he likely had a line of sight to her, meaning that he would have been able to see the officers when they arrived and called out for help again. Plus, it seems that if this were the case, he would have just told her that while screaming. It's important to note that nothing is impossible in this case because the truth remains unknown.
Boy.
Number 1. This video that was originally posted by a TikTok account was later uploaded to YouTube in July of 2019 and has since gained over 70,000 views. In a preface to this video, Sean, the man who captured the footage, explains that he and his roommate were sharing military barracks when the footage was filmed. Apparently, they decided to play with a Ouija board in the woods. The complete story behind their game is unknown, but Sean says that the board disappeared and strange things unfolded later that night. While trying to wind down and get some sleep, Sean started filming the terrifying events. The first clip in the compilation shows his roommate sleeping with his arms in the air and
Yeah, I'm about to say, what's up with your mans? Why is he sleeping like
in
that?
a crossed position. At the same time, the drawer on his nightstand is slowly opening on its own. Sean says it's happening again, referring to his roommate's position. When he notices the drawer, he clearly expresses fear. The next clip shows a sports drink bottle on the nightstand gently move on its own before it suddenly falls to the ground. His roommate seems to be trying to sleep and is unconcerned by the apparent haunting. After this, a clip labeled as 1:16 a.m. shows the roommate sleeping and snoring loudly. However, the clip that follows gives quite the scare. Sean films his roommate while complaining about his sleep habits when a random object is thrown from the other side of the room, causing a loud noise. Sean points his camera toward the sound, and when he turns back, his roommate is sitting straight up in the bed while staring forward. More random noises occur in the background before the clip ends. Perhaps the most important segment of this compilation begins around the 39-second mark. The video features text explaining that the roommate has been talking in his sleep. After a very brief period of stillness, the roommate shoots up in bed and begins convulsing. Sean shouts in fear and stands up to leave the room. When he returns, the allegedly possessed man is crouched in a dark corner.
Oh,
the compilation ends
shit.
here and leaves viewers
Oh boy. Yo. This story is making me a little bit nervous, man.
with millions of burning questions, as you'd expect. And there's a plethora of different opinions about this content, but the most popular theory is that the man was likely possessed.
I was about to say, if it's shown this motherfucker getting lunged at by this dude, I'm cutting this shit the fuck off, man. Alright, so overall, nice little video. This shit was real nice. Cause with this one here, I wasn't gonna lie, like if it was just gonna keep showing, like I thought like the main thing of the video was seeing those items and shit like get dragged off of the counter or whatnot, which can easily be done by the right equipment, I suppose. But I was just assuming like, oh, this is gonna be the only thing that they're gonna show. Like I expected somebody to get fucking dragged, like in Paranormal Activity 2. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that's just what I thought. But once he started doing all that, like I don't know, it seemed like kind of fake-ish to me. But once he was talking about him being like hunched over in the corner in the dark, I'm like, oh fuck this, bro. If he lunges at his ass, I am going like I'll have a heart attack, man. All right, now this one ain't really too scary. I mean, it's not really that scary at all. I mean, I guess it depends on if you put yourself in the woman's position who heard the noises, and if you was just coming into your house one day and you just heard somebody trying to call out to you, you know, saying that they needed help or whatever. I'm pretty sure that that'd probably be scary to somebody. But I mean, it's overall not scary, but it's just one of those cases where you have to put yourself in their shoes in order to, you know, see that it's scary. Now this one is not really scary at all. I mean, you just ain't nothing really scary about this, because it's not like he did anything that would make the shit seem scary. You know what I'm saying? Like if I would have seen him like pull out the gun or whatever, I could see how this would make your heart race, because you don't know what the fuck is gonna happen. But he did nothing. All he did was just stand at the counter and just was like asking questions and shit, and you know, took the tip jar and left up out of there. So it's not really anything scary about this one in particular. Now with this one here, it seemed, I don't know, like I want to say that shit seems fake, but this here, it just seems like it's fake, because like you obviously, like if this guy had a knife and you know was chasing after them, and then I'm just trying to see like why didn't they just like book it and shit. They're, you know, doing like little light jogs and shit down the trail. Yeah, my bad. So what I was trying to say is that it just looks weird that there's a person out there that has a knife, and it seems as if they're not taking it serious, because all they're doing is like doing that little light jog shit, and just kind of like they're not running far enough away from this person. Like if you had a thought that this person probably knows the trails more than you, and he has a knife and he's trying to harm you, wouldn't you think the best decision would be to just like get the fuck up out of there, instead of like hiding where he could find you? Because it's not like you left the area that this guy was in. You're literally like running down a trail and then stopping to see that if he's still there, and then like and then this light jog. That's just my whole like pet peeve about this particular thing. It just feels like it wasn't, like if this was an actual case of, you know, this guy actually tried to harm them, they're not taking it serious enough, is just my thing about that.
Driver comes out.
This one isn't scary at all. All it is just the imagination of what could have been if somebody would have like was by themselves and stopped to move all that shit out the way. I mean, I could understand, I could see how that could be scary. You know, the thought of you driving down a dark road by yourself, and then you see a man-made roadblock and getting out to move it, and somebody doing God knows what to you. I mean, I could definitely see how that could be scary, but it's just, I'm just going off of what I am seeing in the video right now, and it's not showing anything scary. It's just showing, you know, the roadblock. There's multiple people there, so shit's not going to happen, and they're moving it out the way and they're continuing on with their day. So the video itself that I've seen is not scary. I mean, like I said, what could have hypothetically happened, I mean, yeah, that shit can be scary if you think about it that way, but just from looking at this video itself, it's not scary. So that's pretty much all I have to say about this whole thing, man. Thank you guys for watching this video with me. This will be the last one that I'll be making for the day. I already said that. I'll put the link in the description box below so you guys can check this video out for yourselves instead of watching me watch these videos. More than likely, because I haven't started editing any of the videos yet, because I want to wait till I got done with this one first and then went ahead to do it. So it's a good chance that these videos probably won't be up until about I want to say about maybe like 10-11 o'clock, somewhere around there, depending on my, you know, the editing process. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. All right, peace.